Hello and welcome everyone to another beautiful day here at Live at the Waterhole. My name is Amy and I am with you for the first half of the show today. We are very excited to start off this morning here at Jamala, seeing what all comes down to the Waterhole. So far, we've had some herds of ellies already visit us. We're hoping that some more do come down while we are live. It's always fun to see them come down and splash and play. A little one there on the far side chasing away a zebra, thinking he's very big and strong. I would love to hear from all of you who are watching today. So please do make sure that you send through your comments and your questions. That can be done through joining the conversation on Twitter or otherwise in the YouTube chat stream or on the WildEarth app or website. Even if it's just to say hi, it would be lovely to hear from all of you at home, or perhaps it is Sunday today, but perhaps some of you are working. But nonetheless, a very warm welcome to you all. Like I said, I'm looking forward to today. We're not exactly sure every day what's going to happen. We had such a lovely bit of birding that added to our Waterhole show yesterday, just before I headed off halfway through. Also plenty of ellies and zebras. So stay tuned, everyone. I think this ellie is going to start the pool party here today at Jamala. Baz, I think it is. You say so excited for the live at the Waterhole show again. A very warm welcome to you and thank you so much for sending through your comment. It is great to hear from you, and so am I. I'm also excited. So is the team. We can't wait to see every day could hold the possibilities of something very exciting happening. But it's also a day to just learn more, to observe more, to take in more about these animals and the way they behave out in the wild. Claire, hello. You're from the UK. You say hi, Amy. Happy Sunday. A very happy and warm Sunday to you as well, Claire. I'm not sure what the weather's doing in the UK, but here where I am in the Lowveld, it is very, very warm, as it looks like is the same in Jamala. All right, well, speaking of warm weather, let's find out what the weather is doing across our locations. And here we have a herd arriving. That is what I was hoping for, everyone. And there is a tiny little one there in between, also trying to cool down on this very warm day here at Madikwe, much warmer than it is where I am, up to 35 degrees Celsius. Oh, that one can just about standing in the water is covering its whole body. They moved off very quickly. I think that was just a reaction to one of the bulls coming around from the right-hand side. I'm sure they'll move back to the water. That definitely wasn't a long enough drink for them. Catherine, hello. Nice of you to join us again today. So good to hear from you. You say that it's snowing heavily in Germany and you're watching from a hide and freezing. Well, I'm not sure exactly what a hide in Germany is, but it does sound very cold. So I wish I could share the heat with you, Catherine, but I do hope that you stay warm and that this show keeps you good company. I do hope that little one gets down to the water again, especially on a little slope like that. Sometimes they just slide on down. Petite, you say that the tiny Ellies are so cute. And how old would the smallest one be? I would say about 6 months. Usually we say they're under a year if they can fit underneath mom's belly there. So even though it is very small, it's not the tiniest one that I've ever seen. So I would say 4 to 6 months or so old, that little one. It is quite coordinated and knows what's where and how to use its trunk and walk around. So yeah, definitely under a year, but about 6 months or so. Well, that herd now deciding that that was all they needed for today. A little group of impala now coming down. Looks like possibly also to drink. One or two lambs there as well, just moving off to the right hand side of the screen. Henry, you want to know, do the elephants always move in herds? Um, Henry, yes and no. So when it comes to female elephants and their young, they typically do move in herds, even if it's just a mother and its calf. Generally, you wouldn't find female elephants on their own. If that is the case, usually something is wrong. They are very much herd animals, and I've personally never seen a female on their own completely. Sometimes they may be a little bit separate, but you may see one and then all of a sudden, oh, there's the other one. Male elephants, on the other hand, can travel alone. They can be completely solitary, but they can also form what we call bachelor herds. So the answer to that, Henry, is both yes as well as no. These young impalas have grown so much already. They would be about 2 months old now, maybe 6 weeks or so, depending on when in November they were born or early December. But in comparison to when you first see the lambs to now, they have gained a lot of weight, a lot of agility. You can see them all running here now, a lot more sturdy on their feet. Witness, hello. Thank you for joining us. You are greeting us all the way from Centurion in Pretoria. All right. Well, enough of the Ellies have moved off and these impalas are here for a drink. Let's head over to Juma and see what birds are there for us today. Oh, nice. Beautiful hippo calling in the background there. And here we have a bird of prey, everyone. typical to see them like this on usually a dead tree with not much foliage. Gives it a nice vantage point for the area around it. Now it looks like a brown eagle. I'm just trying to work out exactly which one it could be. There are a few different options, especially at this time of year when the migrants are back, both the Wahlberg's eagle as well as the lesser spotted, which can look quite similar to that of a tawny eagle, especially if you don't have too much of a size comparison. There's also the brown snake eagle, however, this isn't looking exactly like one, just based on the general impression I have of its shape and size. But I just want to have a proper look at the legs to see if the feathers go all the way down. And then, of course, that eye color is really important. Catherine, you love some birding. I'm so glad. Me too. Definitely one of my favorite things about living and doing the things that I do. The birding that we get to do in all different places, especially here in the Lowveld. Now, everyone, just looking at those legs, I think those feathers are going down all the way to the feet. You can just see the thickening there all the way down. Whereas yesterday we had a brown, I think it was yesterday or the day before, we had a brown snake eagle at Budonyo in Kenya, and you could clearly see where those feathers on the legs ended. And there was quite a large chunk of the leg that had the bare scales around it. I think it may be a Wahlberg eagle. The only thing that it could really confirm it for me is that eye color. I'm just struggling to see the eye color at the moment because of the way the light is hitting its face. The other option, of course, is a juvenile battalier, which can also throw one off because they are also completely brown. Oh, it's just moved its leg, everyone. It's playing tricks on me, this bird. Those legs are looking quite bare now that it's separated them. And now I'm leaning towards a brown snake eagle. My first impression when I saw it was the way it was sitting here was very straight up, often like brown snake eagles do. Its posture is very up and down. Baz, you also say brown snake eagle? I think that is what it is. Oh, there's a waterbuck. Beautiful male here sitting, found some shade to escape the heat. think male waterbucks are magnificent animals. Antelopes, they really are very regal looking. This is quite a young one. Those horns are still quite small in comparison to some of the really big males that we see in the bush. Yes, so many lovely bird calls. I hope you have your volume up wherever you are. There's an emerald spotted wood dove there in the background, rattling testicular. William, you say you love their horns. They are beautiful, aren't they? Very unique, bending forwards rather than backwards, like the sable and the roan antelope, which have that very sharp curve bending back, whereas the waterbucks actually come from the skull and then bend back, but then start to bend forward, making an arch towards the face.
Are you a wildlife fanatic, glued to YouTube for your daily dose of animal antics? Then welcome to Africam's wildlife community. By joining our YouTube memberships, you get no ads, just wild live streams, chat with other bush fans, get early access to exciting camera spots, and flex your wildlife knowledge with fun quizzes. Visit Africam's YouTube channel and click the join button now.
Well, a few more zebra and some kudu have popped out here at Jamala. Kudus always fascinate me. They have ginormous ears in comparison to their head size. Well, no Ellie's back at Jamala yet, but we do have kudu and zebra here. Really taking the gap, I guess. Sometimes I think when there's so many elephants around, the other animals have to wait around until there's a little bit less going on. So they can gauge all around them, use their senses, and just feel a lot more sure of themselves when they come out into the open, especially for something like a kudu. They generally stick to the bush, much thicker habitat than even that of a zebra, due to them being browsers feeding on trees, being generally quite shy animals. Mohammed, hello. You say you're enjoying the show. Wildlife is fun indeed. Isn't it just? It is just the best. I am slightly biased though, so I'm probably not the best person to ask for an objective opinion. But I think all of us here at WildEarth, as well as the viewers at home, love the show and, of course, love wildlife, and spending time in nature is just the best. Baz, you have asked an interesting question, linking back to the waterbuck we looked at just now at Juma. You want to know, is it true that large predators tend to put waterbucks aside as potential prey options due to their smell? Um, that's what so first of all, no, I don't think that's true. The misconception I initially had with waterbucks, or what I'd heard before I was able to observe for myself the facts, is that predators would generally avoid waterbuck because they have a very oily skin. Um, and I'm yet to see that be proven true. Uh, when guiding, I've seen lions kill waterbucks many, many times. Um, there doesn't seem to be an issue for us as humans. If we were to eat a waterbuck, you can ask any hunter who um, has to then skin a waterbuck. Their skin has a very specific oil that can completely damage the meat. So if it's not skinned correctly, that meat becomes almost inedible for humans. So that is what I do know about their skin, and the reason for that has to do with their sort of their woolly coat, and there's different sort of oil glands and things that they have in comparison to other antelope like kudu or impala or anything like that. Um, so bad. No, I think that is one of the sort of um, stories, let me put it that way, that are told or passed on about waterbucks, that they're not favored by predators. But I don't think that is actually true. I think as a carnivore, you're going to eat meat. Their stomachs can handle whatever's really thrown at them in that regard. And I definitely don't think they're put off by any sort of smell or anything like that. And green, you want to know if bachelor herds always stay like that, or do they move off and start their own families? I am going to take it that you are speaking about elephants, bachelor herds. And no, yeah, I mean, yes, they do stay like that. So they don't move off and start their own families. They tend to either be solitary or have a group of bulls who hang out together. And within a certain area, there will be a dominant male, and he will move from herd to herd to mate with females. Zebras, on the other hand, which was the other animal that we do see here, they tend to have what we call a harem, or family, if you want to put it that way. The males actually actively will try to establish their own harem, take females for themselves, and once established, that is how they will live with a female, with a male and his numerous females. Sometimes it starts off, of course, with one, and then they can gain more and more females who they will then mate with and have their young. And so that is how the zebra uh, social structure looks in comparison to something like an elephant, where the males will stay separate from the herds um, into their maturity. Here we have an African spoonbill, busy preening itself. It's been quite busy here over the last few days, hunting, preying on all sorts of little creatures within the water. I'm taking a little bit of a break. And off it goes again to continue. Catherine, absolutely. I completely agree with you. We do need to spend time out in nature every day, even if it is just through watching live at the waterhole.
We all know the struggle of finding the perfect gift. But what if you could give them an unforgettable experience? Something truly extraordinary. Introducing Nature Eye. Fly a real drone remotely at iconic locations, witnessing the beauty of nature like never before. Sign up to be an explorer and you could win one of these experiences yourself. Visit natureeye.com today.
Really is such a peaceful scene here tomorrow. Oh, exciting. We are going to head over to Juma to see a culture. Oh, I'm so glad it's still here. Sometimes these things happen when we spot a beautiful bird and when we arrive, they fly away. But this looks like a beautiful woodland kingfisher that actually just heard one calling. Hopefully we can get it responding. That will be very cool. They do tend to call incessantly, so there's a good chance we may see this kingfisher do its call here. But it is a beautiful, it's a little bit in the shade at the moment, but it's the feathers on its wing and its back are this beautiful turquoise blue color that just are actually quite remarkable in the sunlight. And then the top half of its beak is a red orange color, the bottom half being black. One of my other favorite sounds in the bush is that hippo call, especially in the evening time while you're having your sundowner, to hear that snorting and grunting. It's quite magical. I think it just called there, everyone. Oh, there's a second one. Yes, there's a second one that's arrived. Spark Salad, you say the bird calls at Juma are fantastic. Great job to WildEarth. Absolutely, Spark Salad. I know I did mention it earlier, but it is good to know that you agree. The bird calls here are really special. Alright, well, the one has flown away and the one's just hidden there behind the branch row, but a lovely sighting nonetheless. Apparently some hyenas have arrived at Jamala, so let's head over there and say hello. Oh, and just in time, as the smaller one starts to have a bit of a swim. While the few on the other side, they are having a marvelous time. I think the waterhole brings out every elephant, big and small, in a child or in a baby Eddie, should I say it that way. I didn't even see the one that had laid down here closest to us. It was so well hidden behind the bigger one. Oh my word, even Mom has now completely rolled over. We were chatting yesterday with Rosie about how she hadn't seen one of the big ones completely lie down in the water yet, if it is even possible. Well, it is very much possible, even if it does look a little bit awkward. Riley, I 100% agree with you. You say that I don't know anyone that could get tired of watching elephants. It is just fascinating, isn't it? So entertaining. All of a sudden, this waterhole is quite busy again, everyone. Another little herd arriving. You almost don't know where to look. There's so much to look at.
For those in the wet and cold this festive season, transport yourself to a warm and sunny Africa. With virtual safaris in real time. Interact with African naturalists, connect with fellow nature lovers across the globe, fall in love with nature, and join the WildEarth family this festive season. WildEarth, connecting you to nature.
Oh, this little one is on a mission. Very quickly put into its place by one of the bigger females. Clearly, everyone found out this is where the party's at today. And we have elephants arriving from all directions, it seems like. And Leah, absolutely, it is so much drama. I just don't even know where to look. There's drama at the back, drama in the front. There was that little young elephant bull that was giving everyone a hard time. Oh, and there is a tiny one in the mix here closest to us, in a little, what to call it, a splash of eddies. And there are two very little ones right in the center. And I think sometimes that's where the commotion comes from, when mom gets involved to just say, hey, hey, watch it. Your little cousin is very small. Don't squish it. We've seen this quite a few times now in the last few days of these eels coming right up. You can actually see where the lodge fencing is there, as well as the pool, it looks like, beautiful in blue. And there's, I think, some very delicious grass here that these eels are enjoying. Actually using her tusk there to dig it up. Fuller, you want to know how elephants recognize each other? That's a very good question, Fuller. I think a lot of it has to do with scent, their sense of smell. Um, Definitely, the elephant herd would know its members very well and be able to differentiate between who's in their herd and who belongs to another herd. Oh, that is such a tiny little elephant there, back walking away with mom. I don't know how these elephants are multiplying, everyone, but there seems to be even more than there was. Some are starting to move off now, but there still are plenty in the water. Having a lot of fun. The one is just leaning its head on the back of the other one and then pinning it down. I think those must be two young bulls. Oh, Spark Salad, you and me both. I would also love to be in that pool right now. How spectacular would that be? Cooling off while you're watching the Ellies having their own pool party just in front of you. saw both this Ellie and the little Ellie bull behind both sniffing in that direction. I'm not sure exactly why, but obviously picked up on something that they both a little bit agitated by. Everyone else seems very relaxed, so I'm sure they are just being young bulls getting worked up over nothing. Oh, Monique C. Hello. You want to know where does the entrance to the ear canal sit on an elephant? So, Monique, it is, well, let's try and get close up on one and then we can show you. But if you follow the, look at the face of an elephant from the side, there's the eye. And then if we just go left from the eye, right at the beginning of their big outer ear, there is a hole, quite small actually, sometimes easily missed because it is well covered up. And that is the entrance to the inner ear, or the middle ear, should I say. Maybe if we look at that big elephant bull standing there in between, that would be a good one to show you. Perfect. So there we go. Oh, he is moving. I generally chose the edible because they usually can stay quite still. Okay, well, this is fine. He's going to do some splashing. Oh, my word. Sliding in as well. So, Monique, it is a little bit tricky to say, but it's right there where the ear meets the skull. There we go. So he's actually showing it there. They're just there. So there is a little bit of a gap there. And in there is the entrance to the ear canal of the elephant. There's sort of a dark patch between the start of the skull and the beginning of the outer ear. Rosie, it would be nice, wouldn't it, if children listened as well as elephants? But it is amazing how they do respond to the matriarch. And they do follow her instructions closely.
Welcome to Eco Training Pridelands Conservancy. Hey, Susan, no. Oh, look at her, she's absolutely gorgeous. Look at these two pushing each other.
Well, it's quieted down a little bit. I'm not sure if the noisy Ellies have moved off, some of the younger ones. This is a very large elephant here. Just look at his size in comparison to the others around him. And there are more Ellies arriving, everyone. This is so exciting. And a whole little puddle of them there on the other side. Some very interesting dynamics here, everyone. We've had a few young males, very young, not even sort of teenage age, but under 10, giving everyone a little bit of a rev. It's been quite funny to watch. The poor zebras in the background, I don't think they're going to get down here without anyone giving them a bit of a hard time, unfortunately. If you would like to send through any of your comments or your questions, or just say hi, as you saw there, you can join the conversation using the hashtag WildEarth. Always love to hear from our viewers. It's been wonderful, all of your comments and questions so far, so please do continue to send them through. Ooh, Olive, good question. You want to know if elephants spend more time playing or resting during the day? Well, Olive, it does depend to a degree on the season. Playing in the mud would be something that occurs far more often in the summertime due to the temperatures. So then the ratio will be a little bit different, but for the most part, during spend some time resting, then they do playing like this in the water. Of course, does take energy for this behavior. And they do spend, I mean, the most of their time, of course, is spent eating and resting and drinking. And then there is a little bit of play. Of course, for younger elephants, that time spent playing would be way higher than, for example, a mature bull. They would maybe spend some time play fighting, or actually real fighting, or just determining dominance within their sort of hierarchy.
Our UK family is important to us. WildEarth is making your viewing experience more convenient with a time shift that will see a delayed start. Our sunrise safari will now be broadcast at UK sunrise times. Don't miss a moment of your favorite shows. To watch it live, Go to the WildEarth app or website.
Incredible.
WildEarth, connecting you to nature.
They're two, actually three young Ellies, but two that are playing with each other there. Oh, the one just sat down in the corner of this waterhole. It is one of their favorite spots, I must say. They do love to go and rub around there. And the nice bank, I think that they get quite a bit of scratching done there as well. Well, everyone, I can't believe how time has flown. It is almost 1 p.m. here in Central African time, which means that shortly we are going to be joined by Africa. For those of you who are currently watching on YouTube, this is just a heads up to make sure that you are ready to change over to a alternative streaming platform such as the WildEarth app or website. Elephants are clearly not made to sit on their bottoms. Look how funny that elephant looks. Well, welcome back, everyone. We're now Jamala, enjoying the Ellie action. As soon as something pops up on one of the African cameras, we will go and check it out. But for now,